I know Anton, not well, but I meet him a lot, you know, at do's and stuff, and he is a lovely man. Lovely man. And he's one of the most popular professional dancers on the show. What I do feel for him is embarrassed, because I think... I wouldn't say he was a racist. You know, I don't know him well. He says he's not. But you don't use words like that in a public place. It's just not appropriate. For me, this is what I think. I don't think it's appropriate. And you have to know boundaries. And also, some people say words within their close-knit of friends. What you say at home and in certain environments is fine.
To say that, yeah.
But when you're in a studio or a public place, when you use words like that, you do not know how it's going to offend people from whatever background they might be from, so you don't use it.
Also, hang on. I just want Angelica. So, should he keep his job? Is the apology enough to? Is that enough to make well any wrongdoing?
I think he should keep his job, because I think he has apologised. Like with the Carol Thatcher incident, she didn't apologise. She doesn't know. She doesn't think she's done anything wrong. But he...
And gollywogs are sold in shops, and in fact there's a shop down in Hastings which is staffed by a black man which sells gollywogs, so that one I can't get my head around either.
Again, some people are offended by some words, some people aren't, but in a public place you have to be careful. I don't think he should lose his job, but I think he has learnt a big lesson.
Yeah. Terry, what are you going to say?
Well, I mean, again, you know, when I was younger, I grew up in an area where there were a lot of Pakistanis. Paki was just short for Pakistani. But what's happened
Watching the cricket the other day down in South Africa, and there were some Asian people with a big sign saying Paki Power.
Well, there was a great band from Manchester, the Khalees, who had a great song, you know, rap song called Paki's in the Hood. But what's happened is this word Paki has come to infer something horrible, right? Because, you know, very derogatory. Now, Layla Ruas is absolutely beautiful, isn't she?
Stunning.
So, but then again, so are a lot of Pakistani people. So why is it an insult to use that word? But it was used in an insulting way. And I don't understand where that's come from, right? So when someone like Anton Beke says that, and then also says terrorist, you know, take it from me, if everybody in the world with a brown skin was a terrorist, we'd all be in trouble, wouldn't we? So again, it's almost like...
If you look at the stop and search statistics for Asian people, you'd suspect that the police certainly view a lot of Asian people as being potentially
again, they've got to use a certain amount of profiling, but you know, in terms of negatively stereotyping part of the community, I think at the moment is terrible.
Is the apology enough for him to keep his job?
Well, maybe it should be. You know, if he came out and talked about it openly, you know, how it got out there. I mean, did he say it in front of 20 people?
That's what's been claimed, lots of people.
Again, I find it a bit ignorant, that's all. And frightening that we're in the 21st century.
I thought embarrassing, as Angelica said right at the beginning, probably said it well. What do you think, Martin?
I think Anton is like some of these footballers who appear on Football Focus or Match of the Day, which is to say he thinks with his feet, doesn't he? I mean, he's brilliant with his feet and his hips. He doesn't... Upstairs, he lacked common sense and civility on a very first meeting. I don't think he should be sacked yet, but it's drawn people's attention to acceptable and unacceptable behaviour. In fact, I think he should probably be sentenced to another series of Strictly Come Dancing.
Hole in the wall. I mean, that's a real punishment.
I was actually invited on the show 2 years ago, would you believe, the year before John Sargent, who ruined it for all of us. But that is a considerable ordeal, and he's brilliant at it, but I think he's going to be much more careful in the future.
If he hadn't have issued an apology, if he'd maintained he hadn't done anything wrong, would it be a different situation?
He would have shown himself to be manifestly stupid, yes, and it would have been a different situation. You know, apologies are apologies. We all make mistakes. We do, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an especially stupid mistake to make, and I don't think he'll make it again, and lots of other people will think twice as well. So some good will have come out of this.
Good point. OK, let's throw it open to you. Should Anton Beke keep his job? Let's see what people say, Kirsty.
First we have Shazia, and she's on line 1.
Shazia, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. What's your take on this?
Right, I think it's being blown out of proportion, and I don't find it offensive at all. I use it commonly. I've got an English friend, a white friend, many white friends, and we use it one another.
What's your background?
I was born and bred in this country.
Yeah.
I've had no problems. We always use the P word amongst ourselves, family, friends, and I just don't think he should be sacked.
Do you think of the P word as? I mean, it can be used offensively, can't it?
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
It can, and then I could understand, but it wasn't meant in a malicious way. It was said jokingly, and I think he has made a mistake. And I mean, I had some Afghan workers, and I was calling them Talibans. And people around me, I said, "Oh, I've got some Talibans working for me," but I didn't say it in a malicious way. I said it in a joking way. So I don't find it offensive, and I don't think people should, and we don't, as many.
How did the Afghans feel about it?
They don't find it offensive. They found it quite amusing.
OK.
You don't know Afghans have a sense of humour. They have humour.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I mean, there is also the possibility that they may be Taliban supporters, I suppose. I mean, that is possible. Oh, I don't know, Shazia. I don't know.
She made a very good point there, didn't she?
No, they are good points. I think it's different if...
They found it quite funny while she was paying their wages. Laugh at the boss's joke.
Certainly food for thought, Shazia. Thank you. Let's have another.
Rose is on line 5.
Rose, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your take on it?
I do believe he should be sacked. Very strongly, yes.
Why? What part of it? I mean, he has apologised.
Yes, he may have apologised, but take example Jade Goody and Big Brother.
Yeah. But that was shown on television.
She was sacked in the show. I don't see why he shouldn't be sacked.
Well, because, I mean, one important difference there is that the Big Brother was broadcast to the nation, and what was said between Anton and Layla was said in, I believe, in a rehearsal, a dance studio. I mean, it's almost private, you could argue. That's the difference, isn't it?
I don't believe that, no. It's being said publicly, whether it's in rehearsal, whether it's not in rehearsal. Where I've been brought up, I live in Belfast, and to be quite honest with you, I'm a Protestant, and, you know, I was brought up in the Protestant area, and we have Roman Catholics over here. It's like, you know, disrespecting the religions over here.
Mm.
You know,
and let's just remember what that hard line got Northern Ireland, eh? It didn't do anybody much good, did it, in the end?
Well, to be quite honest, now we live in a very peaceful society.
Yeah, but years of no forgiveness, and entrenched views didn't help anybody, did they? I mean, Anton has apologised, he's trying to make good, and you're, as someone who's gone through and experienced what it's like to be in a divided community, are saying, let's bring down the shutters. No, we can't forgive him.
No, I don't believe you can forgive him. I believe he was very wrong, he was out of line, and he should be sacked.
OK, thank you, Rose. It is fascinating, this. Let's have another.
On line 2, we have Hayley.
Hayley, good morning.
Morning.
And what's your view?
I am in total support of Anton.
Right.
I don't pretend to know the facts and the ins and outs of the whole thing, but it seems from what's been reported that it was an off-camera, personal, private conversation.
Which was heard by maybe as many as 20 people.
Right, OK, but I presume Anton felt comfortable enough with Layla and the people around him. I certainly don't think he would ever have intended to cause any offence at all to Layla. And I'm not sure how come the P word has become an insult. It's, I find that quite...
Well, that's what makes this interesting, because, as we heard from Shazia right at the beginning, and I was told by Kirsty that she is of Pakistani origin, that she doesn't find the word offensive. But,
well, I think because they're a community that there's a lot of racism against, and so you know they kind of seem a bit closed off. And what would happen? I mean, you know, my missus, for instance, you know, she's like a quarter Filipino. So a colouring. So at school, as an insult, they would call her a Paki. You know, people, you know, guys who were like Sikhs round our way would be called Pakis. And it was always used in a derogatory manner. Now, I don't think he should lose his job over it. I think he should apologise and come out in the open and just talk. And it's good that it's been talked about.
Indeed. OK, Hayley, thank you. Let's have another.
Anne, and she's on line 3.
Anne, good morning.
Oh, hello, Matthew.
Hi there. Should Anton keep his job?
Yes, he should. I have to admit, I'm a big, passionate supporter of Strictly, and especially of Anton.
Okay.
And I'm so cross with him because it was stupid what he said. I agree with what the panel say, but it did happen 2 weeks ago. Layla was OK with it, and I wish Layla, Claudia, or even Bruce would speak up for him now.
I mean, I don't know how happy... I mean... I don't know if she's complained a lot, but she's certainly... The newspaper, the News World, claims
It'd be interesting to know who put the story out anyway as well, you know, because... She walked out, they made up, and then it's come out afterwards, you know, so fine. But it's again, it's just a very silly thing to do. I just can't believe... I feel really, really, you know, embarrassed for him and a bit sorry for him as well, because he is a nice person and he does come across well. But
so why do you feel sorry for him? Because at the moment, he hasn't lost his job and he may have learned a lesson. Why does he need your sympathy?
Because I think maybe some people, like, you know, we've had some people, they might not turn against him, their opinion of him might change. And they're saying that he's lined up for some other jobs or he's seen he's going to be a new star. Maybe that might be affected as well. So him being silly might have consequences for him.
Yeah. Maybe the judges might subliminally vote against him, however well he dances. Lots of ramifications here. Yeah. Mm. You got to think these things through. I want his job.
That's really looking too deeply into it.